Tuffy, no, it's me granddad. She's been sneaking into your room at night and sniffing your socks.
Why are you kidnapping a person? And she just went, I'm disabled.
I wouldn't want to be shagging in a fucking damp-ridden witch's closet. If it was my granddad, I want his cock.
Who's your ultimate lay? You can pick anyone.
Historical figure?
Yeah.
Anne Boleyn.
You're lucky I'm alive.
Am I?
You are lucky I'm alive.
Lucky.
You are lucky I'm alive.
What's happened?
I stayed with the most mentally ill woman in Edinburgh. Oh my God, she wanted to wear my skin. She was an absolute lunatic. And I got offered by my venue, obviously just got back from the Fringe for a bit of context, because this is going out, we're recording this on the 23rd of August. I've just got back a couple of days ago. It's going out in about 3 weeks.
9th of September, I think.
Oh, look at
precise.
You. Look at you.
Man's been editing.
That's all you've been doing.
That's all I've been fucking
doing. But yeah, so obviously this is going out in a few weeks. Just got back from the Edinburgh Fringe. My venue said to me, obviously we'll get into how the Fringe went and stuff, but they said, the run's going well, do you want to extend it? And the only reason I didn't is because I couldn't spend another week with this maniac. She was genuinely
Yeah.
Oh my God, mate. Right, so.
It just explains why you got a decent price.
yeah.
I remember you got a good price for Edinburgh.
I tell everyone the story. They go, how much did you pay? Like, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. You can put up with the mental. The mental.
Just the mentals.
Yeah. So, mate. She picked me up. So she said to me, she was like, parking in Edinburgh, obviously, as you'll know, is impossible. They've put loads of permit holder places in all the usual places that you would be able to park. So if you want, leave your car in Musselburgh.
So you drove up?
Yeah. So I drove up and she went, leave your car in Musselburgh where my daughter's house. So she could be able to keep an eye on it and stuff. And then I'll pick you up from there and take you back to my flat. So I was like, yeah, perfect.
Fucking
sounds great.
Musselburgh doesn't sound very inviting, does it?
No, it doesn't. It's actually very posh.
Is it? Sounds like it's full of stead.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah, well done.
Come on, who's been the Fringe lad?
Go on. Oh my God, evidently not you. So I was like, yeah, sweet, sounds good. So she comes to pick me up and she seems like she's not my type of person. Like she's into like jazz and she's very posh, very Tory, and very... Joey, you just like...
You had me at jazz, you lost me at Tory, and I feel like those things don't often go hand in hand.
No, she's just very like, she goes and watches poetry live.
Does she play clarinet?
And shit like that. And you know, you just be like, you seem all right, you're fine, whatever. You've got your quirks, we've all got them. At one point she went, we're going to come and see your show. And I went, okay. You're going to love that bit on threesomes. So she picks me up, and while we were driving back, we're having like really painful like small talk and stuff or whatever. But while we're driving back, she curbs her car wheel, and then she apologizes to the car.
Okay, I thought the apology was going to be to you.
No. She apologizes to the car, but not in a sense of
sincerely.
But this is it, with all the sincerity in the world, Liam. She didn't just go, oh fuck, sorry about that, to the car, like just as a little joke. She was like, why, like rubbing her hand on the dash, and she goes, oh, I'm so sorry, Dobbin, I'll never do it again. The car was called Dobbin, right? Let's not.
Dobby or Dobbin?
Dobbin.
That's worse.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Yeah. And I just had to be like,
that's terrifying.
Yeah.
At first you're like, and then when she looks at you like deadly serious, like, are you not going to offer a word of support, Aaron?
Yeah. So we get back to, I'm thinking like, that was a bit mad, but whatever.
And also, curbing your fucking wheel. Sound, I do it all the time. It's part of the process.
Yeah.
Come on.
I probably wouldn't brag about that.
It's
a weird flex. So we get back to her flat, and like she showed me the room, and it seems nice or whatever, but like it's like riddled with damp. The room.
That's
like, lad, it's so hanging. Like, I got
my
so ill
life.
and I just didn't get any better at all, like the entire time we were there. And she smokes in the flat and stuff, and you're just like, this isn't ideal. I wasn't made aware of any of this, but it is what it is. Like, I'm just fucking, I guess beggars can't be choosers. But then at the same time, I have paid.
Yeah, you're not
and it wasn't
beggar.
that cheap.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Go on, tell the people.
Tell
the people how much
it was like 600 quid for 2 weeks.
That's actually all right for Edinburgh, but still a lot of money, though. It's still like a month's rent, isn't it?
Especially when like it's just a room.
Yeah.
Just a room.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not there ever.
Yeah.
Not using any of her stuff. Like, I'm not there.
Yeah.
So we get back into it. She shows me around or whatever, and I'm like, sweet. And then she was an author. So she goes and grabs a book, And she goes, basically what this is an excerpt that I submitted to like a local paper when I moved into the house. And she made me read this like entirely true story. Like wasn't fiction or anything. And basically the top and bottom of it is she went to view the house and she wasn't sold on it. Went to view the flat, wasn't sold on it, wasn't really keen. And then she said that witches came to visit her in the night. This is genuinely true what I'm telling you, right? Witches came to visit her in the night.
Hocus pocus witches.
Yeah, I guess. Like... Witches came to visit her in the night and they told her that it was her destiny that she was going to die in that flat.
I'd go somewhere else. I'm not dying in this damp fucking shithole.
Yeah. So I was sat there, I was like, me too, by the sounds of it. This is tense. I was like, oh yeah, it sounds mad. Yeah, fuck it, that's cool. Anyway, I'm going to go check out my venue. Appreciate you though. So that was the first like hour.
Sorry to cut you off, but the weirdest thing about that is that she's like handed this to you to read and watched. So you've got to manage your reaction in real time.
It's like when money falls out of a card, you act like you've not noticed that it's absolutely.
Really, you want to just count it?
Yeah. Like she was batshit insane, right? So that's like within the first hour of me meeting her. I'm sat there, real like, but I'm excited. I'm in Edinburgh. I'm not really thinking much of it. I'm just cracking on. Gone to see the venue, made up with the venue and stuff, blah blah blah, and then I just don't really see her. I'm getting in at like midnight every night. I'm leaving at like 11 a.m. Like we're just not really crossing paths and stuff. And when we do, like it's no big deal or whatever.
Did she give you a curfew?
No, she just said do whatever. She gave me like keys and stuff. Like I asked that prior to getting there because I was like, if there's going to be a curvey, then I'm not the man for you.
It would have been easy to get in either way. Three fucking witches got in. No key. Sad.
So we crack on, and like I said, I'm just not seeing her. Just very, very rarely seeing her. We just exchange a couple of passing words when I do see her and stuff, and everything's fine. So I'm not really thinking too much of it. And then she's being just like, she's making me uncomfortable in like certain parts and stuff. And she's got no social cues whatsoever in like
social cues.
Social cues. And a speech impediment also. She's just not getting it. Do you know what I mean? And you know, you're just like, oh, this is just a bit awkward. And she was just making me feel uncomfortable and stuff. And like, social interactions and stuff. You're just like, there's nothing specific that I could tell you.
Okay,
do you know what I mean?
like
it's just like you're like, you're just like, fuck it. I feel like I'm gonna wake up and you're gonna be staring at me. It's that sort of vibe. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of them. Just,
I'm protecting you, Aaron.
Yeah, the witches are here.
Yeah.
So about 4 days before I'm coming home. This is on like the Thursday night. Okay. I was coming home on the Monday. I get in at like 11:30 p.m. And she's like waiting for me. Like she hears me coming through like the door and she's just stood at the top of the stairs and she's like just wearing a dressing gown, right? Nice. And she's like wearing a dressing gown. So I had a wank and then carried on and then...
There's two types of dressing gown though. There's like a sexy, lacy dressing gown and then there's a I'm ill and don't want to put on clothes type of dressing gown. Which one are we talking?
Weirdly, both.
Okay.
So she just stood waiting for me, and she goes, "When are you going home?" It's the first thing she says. So I'm like, "Sorry." I'm like, "I've had a couple of drinks. I'm like a little bit whittled." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "When are you going home?" And I'm like, "Monday." And she goes, "Oh, I thought you were going on Saturday." I was like, No, I go on Monday morning. She goes, "Oh, right, okay." And she's like, there's just like really awkward silence. So I'm like, is everything, like, is that bad? Do you need me to go Saturday?
Like, is she trying to get rid or is she trying to get under? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
And she goes, "When's your last show?" And I said, "Sunday." And she went, "Well, why aren't you going home on Sunday?" It's like, because the last show's at 9 p.m. and I'll be done at 10:30. And it's a 5-hour drive and I'll probably die. But at the minute, it's sounding like a good option. Like this is
I feel dead.
Yeah, I'm dead inside right now.
Oh, mate, it's fucking well.
And she goes, "Right, okay. So what it is, the cleaner's coming on Saturday, and she's like going to clean up after you've gone and stuff. That was the idea. She's going to come on Saturday, but obviously you're still going to be here. So is there any chance you can just not shower between Saturday and Monday?"
What an odd request.
And I went, "No. I went, no, of course not. Like, I've got shows. I'm out like 12, 14 hours a day. Like, I've got shows to do. I need to shower. Like, no,
That's
especially
just
like
proven to me. She's not asked about you having a shower. She's not asked about the cleaner coming in. Sorry, she's been sneaking into your room at night and sniffing your socks, and she just wants that fucking 3-day stank. That's what she's after. Creep.
Yeah. I did not think about that. She goes, "Can you just not shower?" And I was like, "No, of course not. Like, I need to have a shower." And she goes, "Right, well, you'll have to clean it then." And I went, "I'm sorry?" And she went, "Well, I don't like cleaning showers. I've not cleaned a shower in years. I get the cleaner to do it for a reason. And if you're still going to be here and wish to use the shower, then you'll have to clean it." And I went, "I'll just go on Saturday." Like, this is really odd. Like, you've sort of cornered me in the room at like midnight. This is just really odd. Like, you just
weird.
Yeah, and I'll stay at a pal's. Like, I've got mates up here and stuff. I'll just go and kip on his sofa for a couple of nights.
He'll let me use his fucking shower.
Yeah, maybe he'll let me shower. Yeah. I was like, this is just really weird. And she went, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'll just give you a spray and you can just wipe it down and stuff, and then it's fine. And I was just like, right, whatever. So I've just thought, that's fucking weird. Bearing in mind, this shower is riddled with damp. I've got photos that I will slide in here of the ceiling's peeling off the wall. It was like falling on me in the shower. I cannot stress to you how disgusting this shower was. Right? And it's so much worse than you could possibly... The cleaner comes once a week, apparently, and it is so much worse than you could possibly do in a week. So I've not caused this. It's just absolutely bogging. It's disgusting. So you're like, in my mind, I'm like, what is she cleaning? Nothing's being cleaned. Anyway, fast forward the next day. This is how you know none of this story is bullshit, okay? Because I got home, and there was a note waiting for me on bed. It just says, all is well, cleaners agreed to come Tuesday, shower to your heart's content.
Oh my fucking God.
This woman is so mentally ill. I was like, oh, okay, thanks, nice one, I appreciate it.
Is she forgetting that you paid £600? That's what I mean. Like, she's not just let you stay there out the goodness of her heart.
Bonkers. So she was just nuts. It was really
shower to your heart's content. I'd have had 5 showers in one day.
Oh well, I had a wank in one of her books that she'd written. Yeah, page 38 and 39 are stuck together, my guy.
That was the best bit. That was the bit with the witches.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. She was just nuts, man. She was just really, really odd. And I started telling that story on stage. It was really fun.
What was she like when Beth was around?
We just didn't really see her, but just very, yeah. There was no in and out, which was the fucking main issue, to be honest. Beth was there for 4 days and there was no in and outs whatsoever.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to be shagging in a fucking damp-ridden witch's closet. Fuck that shit.
It's a soundbite. So yeah, man. And also, not to mention, right, every morning at 7:35 a.m, I got woken up because the window was like single glazing. And it was right underneath, it was right above like a bar. Yeah. So that the bin man would come and empty the bottle bin every single morning at 7:30 a.m. But he would do it along the entire stretch of road. So I'd be awake for about 30 minutes just listening to this. But you are not prepared for how loud this is.
Yeah, when you said that, I just thought, it can't be that bad. I'd sleep through it.
Mate, you are not. I'm pretty heavy sleeper. Let me see if I can find this video.
I'm pretty heavy sleeper. Why did you sound like Tarzan saying that to Jane? I'm pretty heavy sleeper.
Now, bearing in mind, this has already woken me up, and then I've started to record a video. Okay? You are not prepared for how loud this is. Wait for it.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
7:30. Every day. 7:30 a.m. every day for about 30 minutes. He would just go further, and then it would start to get quieter as he gets further away. And then, it was just like, Joe, you just sat there like, what am I paying for? Yeah. I'm barely sleeping. It's an absolute hole. It's fucking horrible.
And it was probably better than 90% of the other accommodations out there.
Oh my God. Never again. Ever again.
Would you not stay there for that price?
No, I couldn't deal with her.
Oh,
man.
really?
Like
That
she
bad,
was
yeah.
like, obviously a lot of the stuff I've said doesn't sound like it's that bad, but just like her general vibe.
No,
and
I know.
You just like, I just don't fucking need this.
You talk about it and it just all melts. You know, we've only been chatting for about 15 minutes.
I'm going to have cut a lot of this.
No, that's fine. No, we've only been chatting for about...
When I told it on stage, it took me a minute and a half. I don't know what. I just gave you all the details in the world.
but when it's like day in, day out for weeks, it just fucking great on you, man.
Yeah, it was hard work. It was she was just, yeah, she was lovely or whatever, but she wasn't also like, when she carded me that night when she was complaining about like me showering or whatever, she was asking me about like I was watching a documentary on the Edinburgh Fringe, and they were talking about like accommodation costs and how expensive it can be.
She's trying to fucking...
And I just thought like, it's so bad, isn't it, how much people charge? Like, people pay thousands for accommodation. I was like, you've charged me 600 quid for a damp fucking tiny bedroom with like the fucking guy emptying a bin right next to my head every morning. Like, it's just, you're part of the fucking issue. But she's part of the issue and she doesn't even know.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, my mortgage is less than I paid for 2 weeks in a fucking room.
Insane.
My
That's insane.
God.
Won't be for long, like, but we'll move on.
No, yeah, it won't be for long. September, the jig's up, innit? But yeah.
How was the festival in general, though? Your
Yeah.
second time going putting on a show, but your first time doing a full show yourself.
It was really good, man. It was so much better than I anticipated it would be. I was really anxious sort of going down and stuff because there's no sort of pal to lean on and stuff. And obviously last year I mentioned that Isham was there a lot and he was really took me under his wing and stuff. And we hung out like pretty much every day. Like, I would leave him at 5 in the morning and then I'd wake up at 11 and we'd go get lunch. Like, it was, we just spent so much time together. And I knew I wasn't going to have that this year. I actually spoke to Ishan yesterday and I told him how much I hated him for not making time for me this year. He was in Canada, as if that's better. As if that's better than hanging out with me. But yes, it was, so I was just very anxious going and stuff. But yeah, it was so much better than I anticipated. Yeah. I think I just couldn't believe how many of the tickets I actually sold.
Yeah,
but I thought I was going to just go and just fucking be playing rooms to like 6 people and it was going to be a real slog. And I think when I left, I had like 1,380 tickets-ish to sell. Sick. And I sold over 1,100.
Sick.
Like, I think I sold it out like 20 out of like 34 times, something like that. It was just outrageous, man. I did not expect it. And like, it's tough, like, realistically with this pod, like, we've been doing this for what, like 2 years, coming up in February?
Closing in on 2, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes, like, in the nicest possible way, like, obviously we love the listeners and stuff, and we don't have a ton of them. We get like 4,000 downloads a week, that's fair to say, isn't it? We don't have loads of them, but you do find yourself sometimes got to go in, is this worth it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's cost us thousands to do it. We've not had a single penny yet. Had to buy all the equipment, and when we were renting off a studio space off Have a Word and stuff, we were just hemorrhaging money all the time. And we're just not seeing any fruits of the labour yet. Nothing's happening for us. Like, nothing's like really taken off. Do you know what I mean? What?
I'm laughing because I'm just thinking the moment I knew it was worth it was when Steve Moore offered to send us his piss glass. That was the moment I knew.
We have very different hopes and ambitions to this pod.
He's still messaging me like, when do you want this piss glass, lad?
I don't want Steve Moore knowing where my mum lives. Because she has her own witches. Let's just say that.
But no, I get what you're saying.
So you just find yourself going like, is this worth it? Like, we've not made any money. We're not, like, there's not really close to it and stuff. Like, hopefully, obviously, now that I'm back, we're going to get a Patreon set up soon after you get back from Florida, and we're going to do a highlights channel and just things like that, and we're going to try and push on with it.
Yeah.
But then you go to a place like the Edinburgh Fringe, and like, listeners were coming out in droves, man. Sick. Like, and making themselves known, and like, when I was flying for the show, they were coming up and going, "Oh, you're the guy off TikTok. Oh, sick, yeah, we'll go. You're dead funny, man. We'll go see your show." And so even if they're not,
you do look like every guy who's ever been on TikTok.
Yeah, I think they were expecting Cal Freezy, to be honest. But I'll take it. But yeah, man, they were just coming out and see the show and stuff, and like I know it's tough to put it into words because I've not sold tickets before. We did the work in progress and stuff, but they were tiny rooms, man, and I wasn't really filling them too well and stuff. So you don't really, I don't know. It wasn't really getting.
I disagree. I think there was a good mix.
I'm looking for.
I feel like you were doing well for the work in progress. For a work in progress Edinburgh show outside of Edinburgh, it's hard to fill unless you're a big name with a big profile.
Yeah, I guess.
And you were doing really well.
But yeah, man, just the people that were coming out to see the shows. Like, there was a lad named Ollie, and he's from Newcastle. Listens to the pod, and so does his missus. You're fucking horrible. He's no longer listens. He's give up.
Away.
But he listens to the pod, and so does his missus. And it was her birthday in August at some point, like a week or two ago. And as part of it, he thought, I'll surprise her. I'll take her to Edinburgh. And part of it was taking us to see my show.
Yeah.
And you're just like, that's so fucking cool, man. Like, and people were making themselves known and saying they really enjoyed the show and now they're a big fan of the pod and stuff. And you just, because like we know that they're just a number almost until they make themselves known. Like, we sort of see the download numbers, but you don't almost see it as like real people. And then they come and they stand in front of you and go, mate, we're a big fucking fan of your stuff. And it's just, I don't know, they'll never know.
No, it's always boss when people reach out and we get submissions, and then we've got the people who will like regularly like tweet stuff or repost stuff, share stuff. You remember the names because we are so sort of like, I know we said we're nearly a couple of years in, but we are kind of new. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, I love it when people come up and stuff and say they listen to the pod or reach out, and keep doing it. Keep sending us submissions, keep sending us messages, because it fucking keeps us going. We don't have fucking money coming in. That's all we've got is your approval, and we fucking need it.
Sometimes you do sit there and you go, like, could my time be better spent elsewhere? Like, you don't give us gig as nearly as often as you'd like. Yeah. And because you've got your day job, and then like doing the pod and stuff takes up so much time, and you do sort of go like, how much of this is worth doing? Could I be doing other things? And then you do go to a place like the Fringe, and people start coming out because they already know who you are. Like, it blew me away how many people were coming to the show because they already knew me, and not just because it was a show at the Fringe. Yeah. Like, it wasn't. I mean, I sold over 1,100 tickets. There was not. Wasn't like there was 900 people near me.
Yeah, but still,
but like there was like a couple of hundred people who were like, "Oh yeah, we've seen your stuff," and it was just so fucking cool. And like I say, they'll never know how grateful I was for it. Like, and stuff like that just really helps, because like my time slot was 4:30 p.m. And like, I've got a joke about how my dick looks, like my dick's so small compared to my balls that it looks like a slug laying a beanbag. And I did that joke 3 times out of 18 shows because they did not want to hear it. Yeah,
for that visual.
They were not keen on it. It was a very older crowd. When the audience is limping into the venue, you know you're gonna have a rough one. You're gonna have a real rough one.
Yeah,
so
because
like those
they can't
people
relate
like
to the slug
really,
because they're limping because they got a fucking piece. They're like, this is
yeah,
not
that's it. It's weighing them down. Yeah. Good so it was just, like I say, those people sort of coming over and making themselves known really did help you sort of get through the month and stuff, and people saying nice things. And yeah, I was just really pleased with the show. The worst one by far was the last one. Which is always nice. It's nice to keep you grounded, isn't it?
Yeah, just remind you you're a piece of shit. What got listeners have you, dickhead? But we're not going to listen.
Fucking hanging. It was so minging. It was so minging. So on this Saturday night, I finished. My last show was on the Sunday. On the Saturday night, I filmed the show. The crowd were fucking great. It was such a fun one. We turned away about 50 people. The room only held like 44 people. We turned away about 50. It was just everyone on that last Saturday that I did was just absolutely smashing it. All their shows were selling out. The numbers were just outrageous for everybody. It was a real good weekend. And the crowd were great. I had a fucking great show. And then I thought, I could just end on that one, really. That would be fine. And then the next day, there was like 22 people in. And it was like the most tragic game of Guess Who you've ever seen. They were all just dotted around. They were all 109 years old. And I was just like, this is going to be fucking rough. And it really was. It was, oh my God. And like, don't make no mistake. Like, obviously you do, when I see like an older crowd, I don't think much of it. Like, because, they're more than welcome to be at a show. I just feel bad because I already know they're not going to enjoy it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing against like the older generation. A bit. It is.
Some take you by surprise. Genuinely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Some of them are so on board and stuff. But then it's weird going up there knowing that half your stuff isn't going to be for them.
And it affects you too. Like, it affects you. If you walk into a room and you look at them and you just think like, I'm going to smash it. I mean, that sounds really that sounds really arrogant, but it's something that you feel sometimes, innit? Just puts you at ease and you will nail it.
When?
But if you look at a room and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's a feedback loop.
Yeah.
And you start second guessing everything
and yeah, so it was just, like I say, I've not got loads else to say on the Fringe. It was just a really fun time. I just didn't really socialise. I shat myself. That was fun.
Sick. Yeah. Got any pictures of that?
There was that as well, yeah.
Dripping from the ceiling.
Oh, yeah, that was what was hanging off the ceiling in the fucking shower, yeah. Oh, my God.
What did you eat?
So hanging. Genuinely just chips and curry sauce at a chippy. and everyone was like, "Oh, it can't be that. Like, you've not had any meat or anything. Salmonella can live on anything." I learned, mate. Oh my god, I was pissing from my arsehole. It was really not a good time. I woke up in like absolute agony.
You had to cancel the show, didn't you?
I cancelled 2 shows. Yeah, it was fucking rough, man. It was so horrible. And then I got up. I genuinely, I just couldn't get off the toilet, no matter what I did. Joe, you like, no, you got more. Like it's just every time I stood up, I was like, nope, better sit back down. And I just couldn't get off the toilet. Went out. I thought the show must go on. We're 3 days into the Fringe. I can't be that guy. Like, I need to do these shows.
You're just scared of like shitting yourself and having chips and curry all over you. Mate, just at a gig.
Just hanging. Absolutely hanging. I went into the co-op to get a Lucozade Sport. Thought, keep myself hydrated. That'll help me. Trusted a fart. Should not have done. Had shit going down my leg. Anyway, let's crack on.
Sick.
It was a bad time. It's like when you're in a new city and like, for example, like Barcelona or anywhere like that, and you've just got people constantly stopping in front of you to take a photo. It's annoying, innit? Yeah. So annoying. That happens loads in Edinburgh because of the castle and stuff. And that people just do not move out of your way.
When they start slowing down to do it, and they have no awareness that there's a flow of traffic and people walking behind them, it just makes me want to
annoying, innit?
Brick someone.
So annoying. Imagine you had shit in your pants when they're doing it. It's way worse.
Do you know who you're talking to? Like fucking Schrodinger's keks.
Yeah.
The could or couldn't be shit in at all times.
Adam Rowe messaged me. He called me a shithouse and said, well, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, he messaged me and was calling me a shithouse, saying that he's got IBS and if he had to cancel a show every time he shit himself, he'd never gig. But like, I wasn't really bothered about that. It was just a spewing up and everything, man. Like, it was so violent. Like, I fucking vomited about 6 times in one day, man. Like, Joe, you just like, I can't.
Like, you don't want to go viral. That.
Yeah,
like,
I had something viral inside me, and that was a big problem. It was not good.
Himself at the Fringe. Did you hear about Ralph Brown?
Comedian destroyed by chip shop. Like, it's fucking horrible.
Did you hear about Ralph Brown and the gun? Do you know more about what happened there?
Yeah, it was a fake gun.
Oh, was it? Oh, I'm gutted now.
For listeners that don't know who that is, there's a comedian named Ralph Brown. He got into it with a heckler, so that made him look a little bit stupid, and the guy pulled a gun on him, which personally I was fucking gutted about. How could that happen to me? He sold out his run.
That's what I mean. The publicity from that. Yeah. I think that's got to be the only scenario where I could be staring into the barrel of the gun, smiling, going, do you know what you're doing for me right now, lad?
But yeah, mate, it just turned out to be a fake one. But the guy was arrested under the same. He might as well have had a real gun.
Yeah.
Because the threat was the same.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So it was rough, man. I had a fucking really awkward moment on stage as well. Do you remember me posting on my story the photo of me just sort of my head in my hands and there's a disabled woman behind me?
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Do you want the context
Kyle
of that?
Legacy's version of that.
Yeah.
Go on, what happened?
So I was doing this gig in Cabaret Voltaire. It's just one of the venues in Edinburgh. And we were just doing a gig. Kyle hosted it. It was sound. It was whatever. And I'm on stage and I can just see like banging behind me. And like a guy's just like slamming a door and shit. So I've turned around.
You meant like shagging?
No. A guy's like slamming a door and shit. So I've just sort of done like, yeah, slam it. Why don't you? No worries, mate. Appreciate it, sort of thing, and just like carried on. Next minute, I hear another one, and this guy's like holding a person. So I was like, what the fuck? Why are you kidnapping a person? No, he's like lifting it, like proper, like carrying her through.
Yeah, like the movie, The Bodyguard.
Oh, right, fair. Yeah, I don't know. But he's like carrying her, and I was like, why are you kidnapping a person? And she just went, I'm disabled, and. Mate, I'll slide the photo in here for people that haven't seen it. Oh my God. When I was literally like rolling around on the stage. So you just like, like of all the things.
I had a lecturer that got sacked for something like that, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was an easy mistake to make.
Someone was trying to get in, like banging in the door behind that was like locked. It's where the lecturers, and he was pointing at a sign that says, you know, no entry, and they were blind. And he got sacked.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Madness. Yeah, that was a very happy.
Yeah, should we take a break? We've got merch. Finally, we've got merch.
We've been talking about doing this for ages and we've finally made it happen. We've got our own online store at spreadnegativitypod.com. We're selling t-shirts with logos. We're selling queefs. Whatever you want, we've got it.
We're selling queefs in a jar if you want one. We've got beanies, mugs, phone cases, loads of stuff like that, so check it out. But if you do order something, and I cannot stress this enough, order one size up. I'm a large to extra large in most things. I've got a 2XL in this. Liam, you'll notice, doesn't even have a hoodie yet because they're still making his out of a bed sheet, right? Proper nightmare stuff.
Check us out, spreadnegativitypod.com. If there's anything that you want and you don't see, let us know. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we'll sort it out. And we will get better at these adverts as time goes on.
So I know that you want to be big feature boy in the second half as usual, and I'm
Please
sure...
tell me you've got features, because I do not have enough. I've been doing other stuff.
I have fuck all, mate.
I've only got one.
You've been fucking fringing it. I've been doing I've edited, and I've threw me back out again.
Of course you have.
Again.
Yeah.
Fucking again. Not through like exercise or going to the gym.
Reaching for a sandwich at the meal deal counter or something.
I was reaching for a butty. I regret calling it that.
It's a weird word, isn't it?
I was making me love to my lady wife.
Oh, so you meant...
And I was, the old swish and flick, I was reaching and I threw me fucking back out. In my defence, I'd just been the gym. So I had just been like squatting big weights and that. I might have put some pressure on me back. But yeah, I was reaching over. Big fat twinge. Oh, fucking, I'm a good husband. Did the job anyway. You know, swish and flick.
Is that what you call it?
Level. Oh, baby, you heard what he just called you? I'd never call her that.
That's what you call her. No. I didn't say a word. I was just asking a question.
She's not a big job, but she's hard work. That's what I fucking say. But
yeah, a team.
Fucking threw me back out doing that, and it's just not been the same since, and it's proper winding me up. And no one else is winding me up. Oh, no, actually, I'm not going to go into that. Nothing else is winding me up.
Such a fucking coward.
Talk to me about the Fringe. What I do want to know before we move on, I know that we talked a lot about the Fringe in the first section. I want to know, you didn't talk about the shows you saw or anything? What were like?
Oh, I barely seen any.
Oh, you fucking messing?
Genuinely, because I was just so fucking, like, I flyered so many hours every day.
Yeah, you were done.
I had 2 shows. So, yeah, I saw Daniel Muggleton's, and I was 7 minutes late for that because I was rushing from mine. That was a great show, though. He was a lovely man. Who else did I see? I saw Phil Ellis. He came out dressed as a cat, wearing a gimp suit.
Did he?
He's just been nominated for best show. I'm not surprised. It was so fucking stupid and so good. Who else did I see? I saw Liam Withnail do a preview the day before my show started because I just couldn't see anything, man.
Yeah.
Just couldn't see anything at all. I saw 4 shows in total.
Oh, really? That's it? Fucking hell, yeah.
And I saw like 25 last year.
I was going to ask you your pick of the Fringe and all that. Fucking get your features out, lad.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Show us your features, baby.
So it was worth it, wasn't it? While I was over at the Fringe, I ended up going onto Reddit because there's so much porn on there, and I missed Beth.
Hold on, you went on Reddit for porn?
Have you not been on there?
That's a shit choice, that.
Mate, you mad?
Stills.
Oh, there's no still. There's more than stills.
What are you messing? But why not Pornhub?
Because I don't know, I've seen stuff on there.
I'm like fucking Pavlov's dog, baby. That little fucking drum beat.
It's too manufactured.
Fucking love it.
I don't like a...
Have you ever seen that video of a kid, like a school event in America, and he's at the drum kit, and he just does the little Pornhub drum beat, and the fucking crowd goes wild. Tells you a lot about the youth of today. We've got a problem. Yeah, the
You're
nation.
Not youthful. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's too manufactured porn. There's too much going. I like an amateur.
Brasses, lad.
No, but like it's just pure stars on there. I don't want a star. I want a vet.
Like as in like a veteran or someone who works at a veterinary practice.
Bestiality is good. Yeah, I don't want a big star. Yeah, I don't want a big star. I don't want one of those.
I get that. It is overproduced. I'm not all about that.
Yeah.
I prefer the more original. Yeah. But there's still this porn.
Anyway, while I was
Reddit.
while I was obviously looking for the sexy stuff. And a question came up.
In the search bar
stuff. Yeah, I'm such a loser. But while I was looking on there was a question that came up in one of the feeds. It was just in the Ask Reddit feed, and it says like, so it goes, you can have sex with one. So funny. It's so bad. You can have sex with one real person from all of human history. Who is your ultimate lay? That's the question, right? So we'll get yours in a minute. I'll give you mine or whatever. But some guy commented, I'd like to have sex one more time with my wife who passed away from cancer 9 years ago. My body yearns for hers. The ultimate downside is to finding the one is she may die young and leave you wanting.
Fucking hell,
heavy,
lad.
that, innit? Some guy commented back to him and just I also choose this guy's dead wife.
Yes. That's what you get though for trying to bring the fucking
bring the vibes down.
Yeah, that's it.
Who's your ultimate lay? You could pick anyone.
Historical figure.
Yeah.
Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn.
Yeah, no.
She was the Henry VIII wife that had such bomb pussy. He had to get her head chopped off because he didn't want no one else to have it.
Is that when you want her as well? Post headshot?
No, just prior. Not just prior, just actually, because that's the...
He's literally got the knife. You're just like, give me a sec. I'll be there in a minute.
Or she did things to him that he couldn't have get leaked. And that's why...
Get leaked? What?
Yeah.
Did he have a video of it in the 13th
it was just the town crier just go AWOL.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think Anne Boleyn.
Was she fit? Let's have a look.
I mean, all we've got's paintings. There was no photography back then.
Yeah, but, you know.
It's not just about looks.
What would she look like today? Is there a thing? Oh, God, no, she's fucking foul.
Are you messing?
She kind of looks like Jack Leto.
We shouldn't... Thanks, Jack.
Former guest Jack Leto.
Can I choose differently?
Go on, I hope so.
Has it got to be historical figure or can it be
No, it can just be anyone that's ever existed.
Absolutely anyone who's ever existed. I would say, this is such a fucking John Ed answer, but I'm talking prime time, Nuts magazine, Lucy Pinder.
You're a fucking loser.
Why?
You're an absolute fucking loser.
Why am I?
You're just so old.
Oh,
like Lucy Pinder was like the dad's. What the dads liked.
I was young at the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're so fucking old. You're so old.
Yeah.
I'd choose the Porsche in Cars 1.
Oh, right. I must be old because I've never fucking seen Cars.
Oh, she's fit, mate.
And 2, I can just about, like, I could get you choosing, an animated character that might not necessarily be fully human, such as Lola Bunny, because, yeah, bang tidy. But a car, you're one of these people who puts the dick in the exhaust.
Oh, mate, she's so fit. Like, you wouldn't.
Mate, she's a family car. That's fucking not attractive at all. There's nothing sporty about her.
She's a Porsche. What do you mean? How's that a family car? It's only got one door.
Oh, maybe it was the eyes that made me think, like, family, you know. She's only got one door.
Well, she's got...
the back one, am I right?
Terrible. Okay, so let's see what else I've got here. I'm widely unprepared for this.
That's fine.
Am I the arsehole for not wanting to give my wealthier sister the lion's share of the inheritance? Ooh. Yesterday, my parents sat me, 31 male, my 2 brothers, 32 male and 34 male, and my sister, 41 female, down to discuss their will. My parents informed us that they want to split it 5 ways. My sister gets 2/5 while the 3 of us... fuck off. My sister gets 2/5 while the 3 of us brothers get 1/5 each. Their reason is that my sister sacrificed her childhood for our family, so it's only fair she gets compensated. In our childhood, my father's business partner screwed him over, so there was a period where we were broke and in debt. My parents had to work multiple jobs to keep us afloat, and my sister babysat us while our parents worked. All she had to do was feed us and keep an eye on us. We were pretty calm kids, so all we did was play games and do our homework. It probably wasn't thrilling, but not exactly a tremendous hardship. I complained to my parents, along with my brothers, that it's insane they want to give my sister 2/5 of the inheritance over that, especially since she's financially the best off out of all of us. She doesn't have any kids and a dual income with a partner. My parents said they're disappointed in us, and we said we need to reflect on ourselves. My sister didn't say shit while my parents spoke, but texted us afterwards that she had zero intention of taking 2/5, but we were all arseholes. Am I the arsehole for feeling like this split is unfair?
Yeah, no, you're not the arsehole. Sorry, I completely agree with you.
What are you
You're
fucking
not an arsehole.
talking
it's an
about?
Unfair split, so she's getting 2 shares of it.
She's also didn't have the childhood that they had.
That doesn't fucking matter. Everyone was born equally into that family.
No, it does. It's no, absolutely not.
Equal. That's how you cause rifts in a family. That
you're out of your mind. So it says, in our childhood, my father's business partner screwed him over, so there was a period where we were broken in debt. My parents had to work multiple jobs to keep us afloat, and my sister babysat us while our parents worked.
Oh, so you sat and watched the fucking movie while they were playing video games? They were calm boys?
She fed them and kept an eye on them. Sure, they were calm, but for so much of her childhood, she had to watch them all the time. And ultimately, this is the parents' way of paying her back for what they felt was an unfair...
Love and money are not equal. When it comes to money, everything's split down the middle. It's the fairest way. It's the fairest way. It is. It is.
Plus, it's their choice. It's like he doesn't get a say.
All right, I'll back that.
He doesn't get a say. The parents have gone, we've not been able to give our daughter the life that we gave you. By the time you were her age, we were financially better off. We gave you things that we couldn't give her, and you got so much more of your childhood because like you didn't ever have to look after anyone. You never had to do anything like that. She spent her teenage years sat in the house watching you. She didn't get the childhood that we wanted to give her. This is our way of feeling like we can pay her back. This is our thing. This is our money. We feel like we'll be able to pay her back in this way. And he's gone, no, I want your money.
Yeah, too right.
No,
it's his birthright.
You're a dickhead.
It's his birthright.
You don't even agree. I can see it in your eyes. You don't even agree with yourself. You're trying to be contradiction.
I actually do.
Contrary,
yeah.
That one.
I agree. I agree with what you said in that it's their money and it's up to them what they do with it. 100%, I back that. But I think that if you were in a multi-sibling family, if it's not split equally, you would be like, well, why? I don't think it's fair and representative of. Well, it should be split equally.
I don't know. Also, I don't like the part where he says she's financially the best off out of all of us because she doesn't have any kids and a dual income with a partner. You chose to have kids.
That's again,
It's not. That's why is that her problem?
It's not, but it would also add insult to the injury, wouldn't it? You would be a bit like, oh well, fucking, you'd be fuming anyway, and then that's gonna add. I agree. That's not necessarily rational. It's not her fault that she made different choices than him, but it's also not their fault that she was older and had to babysit them. I think when you've got kids, it should just be equal regardless. So say you have a kid now, right? You're up and coming comedian, you have a kid now, and then you have a kid like 7 years later, and you're absolutely smashing it, selling out arenas. Are you going to leave less inheritance to the one who was around, only experienced life well off because you were selling out arenas?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If I have a kid now, and we're absolutely broke, we're in debt all of the time, I've not been able to give he or she the life that I would have liked to give them, and then in 10 years' time I have another child who's only ever known luxuries, of course, when I die, the one that got nothing growing up gets more.
I don't think that's how it works.
It absolutely does, if I want to do that.
Yeah, if you want to do that.
Which is what they want to do.
Of course, you want to do that is to prove me wrong on a podcast.
No, I don't. But all I'm saying is he's the arsehole forever
questioning what someone else does with their money.
I've got no right to question what you want to do with your will. If you want to give it all to Beck and none to me, then that's your prerogative. But I'll be fucking fuming. But like, I'm an arsehole if I question it. Do you know what I mean?
I get that.
And that's where he's being an arsehole. And also, it's their prerogative. They have this inside them where they've gone, we've not been able to give her what we gave you. This is our chance to do that.
Right, I'm trying to win this on a technicality. Did he say, am I the arsehole for feeling this way? Or
am I the arsehole for not wanting to give my wealthier sister the lion's share of the inheritance? Yes, because it's not your inheritance to give. He's the arsehole. End of story. Thanks so much for watching.
I would like to take this pause in the conversation to apologise for saying the phrase bomb ass pussy earlier, especially when describing Anne Boleyn, our previous monarch's wife. I'm disgusted in my behaviour, and that was a formal statement.
Yeah, I just don't know how you can ever have a say, and I think you're a piece of shit. Yeah. I think you are.
I mean, if they never know, they might hate the sister, and she's going to inherit all their debt.
That happens,
doesn't
you've not listened to that, yeah.
Does that happen?
I've no idea.
When you die, does your debt get written off, or do your kids inherit it?
Put it this way: if it does, then my mum will be getting CPR off me, fucking loads, absolutely loads, non-stop CPR. At some points, people will just think I'm trying to pull my mum. That's all.
Trying to get off of it.
Yeah.
Next feature.
No, I think we're done. I genuinely don't really have anything. I've got a couple, but they're dead long. Do you want to do one more?
Do a long one, yeah. Sound.
Yeah. Okay. What have we got? Okay, same sort of. I don't know if we want to do this one. It's am I the arsehole for buying my son a car but not my daughter? Do you want to do that? It was a bit similar
go on. It's in the same vein. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So do we want to do it or do we not?
Well, I did want to do it, but I feel like you don't want me to.
No, I'm fine.
I want to do it, yeah. Don't want to fucking do it.
Let's do it.
Hold on. Wait. There's one I want to do that you've read out to guests, and I hope you've still got. There was one that you read out, and I really thought we were going to do it on Kay Nicholson's episode, but you went with another one, and it was, am I the arsehole for... It was something to do with the money that...
Giving my ex-wife a large amount of money I won despite the anger of my girlfriend.
Yeah, that's
You want to do that one?
I want to do that one, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Am I the arsehole for giving my ex-wife a large amount of money I won despite the anger of my girlfriend? I recently won a fuck you amount of money. I won't say exactly how much, but it's in the millions. It makes me feel funny even typing it. It's enough to change the life of myself and my family. My ex-wife is the mother of my 2 kids. She's an amazing woman and good to the bone. We divorced 6 years ago because I had an affair with my current partner. I was in a low place in my life and I fucked up. She was in incredible pain, but like a fucking saint, she allowed me to still see our kids who mean the world to me. Allowed our divorce to be as pain-free as possible despite the fact that I know she was hurting. She still is close to my parents. She is respectful to me, although she refuses to talk to my girlfriend. She was actually the first person I phoned after I found out I won the lottery. She was pleased for me, joked that I could take the kids on a world round trip, and that was that. Nothing else. As soon as I won, I knew I wanted to give her a significant amount. I still love her. She's the mother of my babies, and I feel like this is some small, tiny way I can show her that I'm not a complete fuck-up. She deserves to know that I care despite my mistakes. She also works a shitty job in the public library, which pays her peanuts. She would actually be able to pursue her hobbies this way, give our kids a better life between us. I haven't discussed this with my ex yet, but I have with my parents who strongly agree, and my lawyer who was very surprised but on board. Long story short, when I told my girlfriend, she was livid, screaming that I'm disrespecting her, accusing me of still being in love with my ex-wife, which I'm not. I'm not in love with her. We've both grown apart, but of course I still love her for being an excellent co-parenting partner and mother to my kids. My girlfriend is threatening to break up with me, and to be honest, I'm feeling incredibly relieved over those threats. I don't plan on changing my plans, but am I the arsehole?
No, I don't think you're the arsehole at all.
Quite an obvious one. I don't know why.
Yeah, you're quite clearly not happy in that relationship. And
she's a dickhead. She's a complete and utter dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, it goes back, it's similar to what we were just doing before. You feel guilt in some way. You now feel like you're able to repay this person back, and somebody's trying to get in the way of it. Just no, absolutely not. Of course, you're not a bad person.
And also, it's different if it was just like an ex. It's like the parent of your children. They're like your priority. Yeah. They're the people who you want to.
Yeah, I mean, if she was someone you shagged in uni and you've not spoke to since, then I sort of get it.
Yeah, it's different. See, when you first read it out as well, part of me thought, like, am I the arsehole for telling my wife before my girlfriend? So I thought that was like, do you know, the whole adultery thing going on. Yeah.
My favourite bit about it, though, is when it goes, I feel this is some small, tiny way I can show her that I'm not a complete fuck-up, as if, like, he did this.
Yeah, you blew all your money on fucking scratch cards
and you got super lucky. And you're like, I'm not a complete fuck-up. It's like, you've just literally just won millions and now you're going to give us some. Like, you're still a fuck-up, but you're a fuck-up with money.
This is how you judge the character of someone who's recently come into money. You either call it like I've developed a healthy sum, or you call it fuck you money. That tells you a lot about your character. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If he's calling it fuck you money, then he's quite clearly got issues of his own.
I mean, to be honest, if I've recently come into money, it means the tissues were too far away.
You would never waste money like that.
3 weeks at the Fringe, it's what it gets you. Do you know what I mean? It's just you can't write it. You just can't write it. You can't teach genius. Talent's something you're born with. That's all it is.
Did you get much cash at the Fringe? I'm just trying to change the subject. Did people pay cash at the Fringe?
No, I didn't. So the Patreon will be set up at some point soon.
I didn't mean money. I meant like cash. Like,
oh yeah, people were putting in like euros and everything. It was fucking mad. I've got to go to the Bureau de Change at some point. But
what do you feel about all these cash nonsense?
How do you mean?
There's like loads of people, like older people who have businesses.
The whole like we need to keep cash.
We need to keep cash. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw something where it was like, if I go to the barber's and I give the barber 50 quid, then he goes to the butcher's. He buys 50 quid's worth of meat. Then he gives them 50 quid, and then if he goes from the butcher's to the to buy his kids some shoes or whatever, he pays 50 quid there. And 20 transactions in, it's still worth 50 quid. If he pays on card, then that person will get like £48.90. And then he'll go to the butcher's and he'll spend that £48.90, and the guy at the butcher's will get £44.60. Something like whatever the maths he'll get 47, and then eventually that 50 quid is worth absolutely nothing. So I do get it. The more we have cash, the less the banks take off us. And I do. It's more ideal in that, like, kids' birthday cards, you can't put a tenner in them anymore, and you've got to transfer a tenner and stuff, and everything's just like, it benefits us to have cash in society for as long as possible. But like one woman put a tenner in my bucket at the Fringe and was like super
apologetic.
No, was like we need always cash.
Cash is king. That's how she put it in. She said that too. Cash is king. Of course she fucking did. They all have it tattooed on the forehead.
You just like, it is.
I get what you're saying, and I do get that. Maybe as a business owner, you'd be more, big word, cognizant of that.
Well, I'd do the bucket, and like people would donate on card and stuff. And let's say like on one particular day, I got 100 quid. I'd get 97 through off some up or something, and you're like, it's a bit annoying, isn't it? Because where's that 3 quid gone? Like, it's just
the pockets of the fat cats, but they're taking the inconvenience away from you of having to go and cash that in, which I'd pay £3 for. Would you not pay £3 for that? I'd pay £3 to not have coins. Do you know what I mean? Like coins in your pocket.
Well, you, Liam Tuffy, are
so
part
annoying.
of the problem.
I am part of the problem.
Disgusting.
One of my mates used to keep like £20 in a little key ring. Like, do you know those little screw up key rings for like emergencies? He had it on his car keys, so if he ever was in an emergency where he needed petrol, he just had £20 in there that was good to go whenever, right? So one of my other mates was sat on the bus, and he was a bit sad, like he just had a loss in the family, and we're sat down, and he goes, "Oh, Tuffy, look at this." He pulls his key out and he shows me that he's gone and got one of these little screw things for the money. So me, just being a knobhead, just snatched it off him just to like unscrew it and get the £20 out. And I snatch it off him on the bus and start unscrewing it. And he goes, "Tuffy, no, it's me granddad."
Oh my God.
And it was his granddad's ashes in that. And I was literally about 2 screws away from caking the whole bus in his fucking granddad.
Imagine he got 2/5 of his granddad. That would have been a fucking nightmare. It would have gone everywhere.
Yeah, the family would have been fuming.
Yeah. What do you reckon was in the vial though? That's all I always think. Like
a small portion of the
but like which bit of him?
I'd want it to be his cock. If it was my granddad, I want his cock.
Oh, all right.
Wouldn't you? That's like his manhood. That's his like fucking his whole reason for being. Is that not why men exist? It's all we think about. It's all we think with. If my knob's gone, what little knob I have, I'm not gonna want to be here for much longer, mate.
Makes 2 of us.
What? Because you like it that much as well?
No, I'm just done with this conversation. Thanks so much for watching. If you came to see me at the Fringe, you'll never know how grateful I am. It was one of the best months of my life, and I really fucking appreciate it. It's good to be back. This was a very sort of admin episode. This was a catch-up.
Yeah,
and
haven't
stuff.
seen each other in a while.
And we'll get proper features, and we'll be back on our bullshit real soon.
Speaking of admin, I would just like to address the listeners. We were talking earlier that we get like 4,000 downloads, which is boss, but our YouTube numbers don't look as good, which means that you cunts out there, love you very much, thanks for listening, like listening to us more than you can bear looking at our fucking faces, which I take as a personal offence. So
I think it's absolutely fair.
Yeah, it's pretty fair. But I mean, if you could
weird if you want to stare at 2 blokes sat down in a room.
Yeah, but we sit good, baby. If I'm good at anything, it's sitting on my ass and doing nothing. Yeah. And look, I'm the disappearing man. I'm going to be this soon. If you want to see a body transformation over a very long period of time where the changes are barely noticeable, then please watch the YouTube videos.
I'm going to always be the cunt on the right with the bug eyes.
Get watching. Oh, it lights up. I didn't even know.
As if you didn't even know you've had that for 2 months.
I don't even think the listeners know. They probably just saw this appear one day.
Yeah, I got it from Barcelona, I want to say.
And you'd know that. You'd have noticed if you watched the video, so please do that. Subscribe, put it in fast forward if you don't want to watch it in full.
Do you remember when we were plugging the YouTube numbers for fucking ages? Absolutely ages, so we could get to 1,000 subscribers so we could start to monetize the channel. We didn't anticipate how much we talk about jisms, and we've not had a monetized video in quite some time, and we've made £4. Not anticipate that it would be quite as unsatisfying as it has been.
Fucking cash is fucking king.
Cash is king,
baby. Cash is king.
Oh man, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.